Little Monsters. You might recognize this movie from my other film review of MVP Most Valuable Primate. MVP, Most Valuable Primate, which I found at the same thrift store as Little Monsters. About a year ago, I invited some friends over to watch Little Monsters with me because I had no idea what to expect. And by golly, did this movie have surprises in store for us. Little Monsters is my favorite bad movie of all time. I cannot get enough of it. I've seen it probably 5 or 6 times now making this video. I cannot stop talking about it. Nobody understands my references. Therefore, today, I am gonna share with you the masterpiece that is Little Monsters. Little Monsters came out in 1989, and as you may have guessed, it absolutely killed at the box office. And that's all I'm gonna tell you about this movie before we jump into it. We're starting off quite strong here with a horrifying selection menu. Please write your predictions in the comments of what you think we're gonna see in this movie, because I promise you it's not that. T. Ittle. Little. Mloyne. So the movie is centered around this little boy named Brian, played by everyone's favorite little meow meow, Fred Savage. So Brian and his family have recently moved into a new house, and he hates his life.
I was miserable.
The kid lives in the attic, you know, of course.
I thought things would be different here. I thought we'd spend time together.
You're the one who stopped working. You think I like being a stranger to my kids?
Around this point in the movie, the parents really start to argue a lot. They're arguing about the house, they're arguing about each other.
I just wish you'd be here when you're here.
Kid makes himself a peanut butter and onion sandwich, as they do. And now he's watching The Big Booty Show. And then we meet Brian's little brother, Eric, who is actually played by Fred Savage's little brother in real life.
Honey, are you all right?
Okay.
Now, there's a monster in your dream.
I was wide awake!
Oh, well, it was probably just your mommy snoring. Under the bed?
No, Dad, don't!
This dad character has no reason to be this creepy. I don't know what the direction was, but every time the dad character is on screen, I need to straight up shield my eyes. So the next morning, the dad immediately jizzes all over his pants. No.
You're dead, mister.
He gets mad at Brian for leaving his ice cream out overnight. But spoiler alert,
Hey, I didn't do anything.
it wasn't Brian who left the ice cream out. And this whole thing prompts another really weird parenting scene.
You sorry we moved?
I hate it here.
Then the dad runs over Brian's bike, and oh my god, that must be Brian's fault.
You're grounded for 2 weeks.
My bike is ruined. Your car has a little dent in it. I'm being punished.
What did Brian do? You ran over his bike. Then we're introduced to some of Eric's friends. There's a guy named Todd, who they call Toad for some reason, and there's Kirsten, who is the girl character.
Hi.
Eric is the sweetest kid on this whole bus, and Brian is so mean to him.
I didn't touch your bike. I can hardly reach the pedal. All right, that's it. You lie to me, stop. My lunch!
And we're introduced to the school bully, who has a fist fight in elementary school.
Break it up! What is going on here?
And then we learn that Brian actually has a crush on Kirsten, who is a woman in STEM with the most fire fit in the entire school. And he immediately proceeds to mansplain stop-motion animation to her.
You could take a whole bunch of pictures and make them into like a movie.
Like time-lapse photography. That's great.
Eric decides that he wants to switch rooms with Brian because he's too afraid of the monsters under the bed. This monster issue is so bad that this little kid would rather live in the attic than in his monster-infested bedroom.
You know, I think it's really nice of you to switch rooms with Eric like this. I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
Yeah. Personally, I think you guys are both kind of nuts about this,
No. Then we have this, like, actually genuinely terrifying scene where Brian's looking around his room for the monster, and if I was watching this as a kid, I would be pooping my pants. And that's it. He just goes to sleep on the couch instead.
Looks like you got 2 weird phenomenons in your house.
So then, in an attempt to catch the monster, he sets up these elaborate traps using Doritos and rope. The trap fails, and the monster is running completely loose in the house, and Brian does not look scared, not even one bit. The monster has the kid in a headlock, and as soon as the dad opens the door, he's gone. It's just clothes. It's clothes. It was clothes all along. The dad leaves, and the pile of clothes comes to life and continues to beat up Fred Savage. This is a real sentence that I just said. And then, you're not ready for this, beautifully directed, we get Howie Mandel's first appearance. Yeah, let's go, Howie!
Boo.
You know, I was never really much of a Howie fan, but after seeing Little Monsters, he really nailed this role.
Keep an eye out for monsters!
Incredible acting. I am so scared of him. I'm terrified. If that thing came crawling out of my bed, I think I'd go into shock.
You know what? You scream, your dad's gonna come in here with a 12-gauge shotgun.
Howie Mandel
Blow your head off.
will not stop talking
Wow!
during the entire movie. And he makes zero sense.
Need him, got him, need him, need him, got him, get him, got him, need him.
Like, who is this character? What am I watching? Is he on crack? Like, literally, is he on crack? Maybe he is, actually. That would make sense. Never mind. I take it back.
Light! The sun! The sun! The sun! Let me go! Let me go! Let me go! Let me go!
Okay, so the lore is he's afraid of the light, and when the light shines on him, he grows horns.
Horns! Great! 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 Now nobody's gonna recognize me.
And when the sun comes up, we get this tragic melting scene.
Bacon and eggs, kid. What do you want? Sunny side up or over easy?
You're dying.
Good. Then Brian puts the clothes under the bed, and the monster, whose name is Maurice,
The name's Maurice,
comes back to life.
and I'll catch you later.
Brian sets up another trap in the attic so he can, like, kill him again, I guess? And then he explains all the physics you need to know about this world in one sentence.
When it gets darker, your eyeballs get bigger. But then when the lights go on, you turn into clothes.
They chit-chat for so long about literally nothing.
Oh, you're pretty sharp, kid. You're ugly, but you're sharp. Wow.
Like, what are you saying, Howie? What is this script?
I can't.
I hate that word. Ooh, that word's like cock to me.
Then Maurice shows Brian the monster world, which is kind of like a hell, an underworld, if you will, that is hidden under every bed in the world.
Brian Stevenson, come on down.
He describes it as every kid's fantasy.
Trouble? Trouble is our code of honor. It's our raison d'etre.
He is so annoying. He's so incomprehensible. It hurts to watch this movie. It hurts.
I said, no parents.
And then we get into the political side of the monster world, where he does this really patriotic speech about freedom.
It's about freedom. Freedom to live life the way the creators of this planet intended.
Man, that sounds great.
And finally, they dive into the monster world, which is really just like a junkyard with really bad MS Paint special effects on top of it.
Hey, Maurice, you like the horns?
Brian!
Oh, okay, so everyone down here is on the same level of coked up as Maurice is. Awesome, this movie is not gonna stress me out at all.
Trick or treat, smell my feet.
The monster world is basically like a casino, from what I gather. They never really go in depth about this, about why it exists. The monster world also kind of works like the Nether, because you can go under one bed and then come out under another bed in way less time. Maurice's idea of fun is just to like go around and terrorize kids, and not even in like a quirky boo-ah, I'm a monster. He basically just like frames kids for a bunch of bad things that they didn't actually do so that their parents will ground them. I don't know about you, but like getting other people in trouble was never my idea of a fun time as a kid.
Do you want to go to military school?
The only one that I kind of understand is that Brian wants to go to his bully's house to get him in trouble. But instead of getting him in trouble, they pee in his apple juice.
What are you doing?
All right, Maurice, that's great.
All right.
Brian spends another night not sleeping, but playing around with his friend Maurice in the underworld.
Maurice, why'd you do that?
Yeah, Maurice, why did you do that? Stop. Cut the tapes. That's it. Nope. Cancelled. Cancelled. There's also this awful scene where they're talking about women, and he calls them
Squeeze, tomatoes, broads, chicks. Don't you have anybody else in your life besides your mother who wears an over-the-shoulder boulder holder?
my face when I saw that. Yeah. So of course they break into Kirsten's house to watch her sleep, as one does when you have a crush. I'll let you guess what happens next. Is it A, Maurice rips a wart off from his face and gives it to Brian? B, Maurice's hand turns into a dog and eats Kirsten's homework? Or is it C, Maurice starts licking his heavily deformed hand? Alright, you got it? If you guessed A, B, or C, you would be correct, because all of those things are about to happen.
There you go, bud.
Now we're introduced to this other monster named Snick, who's actually played by, if you remember the coach in MVP Most Valuable Primate, yeah, that's the same guy. By chance, I picked up 2 movies from the same thrift store that both have this guy in it. And Snick is absolutely terrifying. His dialogue reads like a BDSM fanfic.
You're scared of me, aren't you, Arnold? Oh, I like that. I love that.
But he delivers a very important line that is crucial to the understanding of this film.
Remember, boy always gets what he wants.
Okay, got it.
Never, ever, ever forget that!
Okay, I won't.
Ever!
Okay! So back to Brian, who's upset at Maurice because he destroyed Kirsten's homework and he likes Kirsten, but you know what? It doesn't matter because they like playing sports in here. 10 minutes of baseball. A lot of baseball in this movie. So much monster baseball. This could have been cut and the movie could have been 10 minutes shorter. So yeah, Brian's kind of done with Maurice, but Maurice will not stop terrorizing him.
Oh, hey, Brian, nothing to worry about. Only a drill. Brian's got a girlfriend. Brian's got a girlfriend.
No, I don't.
You're not ready for this. That scene is immediately followed by...
Your mom and I want to talk to you and Eric for a minute.
Wait.
We wanted to talk to the both of you because your mother and I have come to a decision.
Wait.
Mom and I have decided that we're not gonna live together for a while.
No, this can't be.
A business trip?
Why is it so sad out of nowhere? Why did they have to put a divorce scene? Why?
I'll be better. You won't have to go live in the city. I swear to God, I'll be better.
Brian, you all right?
Oh yeah, Dad, I'm just fine.
Well, good thing Brian doesn't really care.
At least you have a family. Believe it or not, you're the only real friend I have.
Aw, the monster's being vulnerable and turning into a likable character. Ugh. Maurice's idea to cheer up Brian is to take him back to the monster world and terrorize a baby. A baby! Like a newborn, like a small ass baby.
This is great. Wow, let's do it, man. This is fun. Scare the hell out of her, Brian. Go ahead, Tonto. Make her poop her pampers.
Oh shit! So the longer Brian stays in the monster world, the more he becomes a monster because, as you saw, his arm disappeared. And that's what that means, apparently. So Snick is mad at Maurice because he wants Brian to become a monster forever, and you know what they should do? They should force him. So they kidnap Eric, who has had nothing to do with this whole monster problem this whole time, and Brian has to go and save him.
They have Eric.
Who has Eric?
The monsters.
Which monsters?
The little monsters.
He also gets Kirsten to help because she's smart. You know, for a girl.
Holy shit. Amazing.
So as they're walking through the monster world, committing mass genocide by shining a light at every single monster they see,
That's the master staircase. It goes up the boys' room. Who's boy? The guy who runs this place.
They finally find Boy's staircase. And this is where Boy lives. He's like the master of all monsters.
I want my brother!
So then we meet Boy, and look at him. He really is just a boy. And Boy tries to convince Brian to stay in the monster world because then he'll finally be the one with power and authority. And like, yeah, okay, but also you'll be stuck in a literal hellscape for the rest of your life and you'll never see your family again. So, you know, if you weigh the pros and cons a little bit, yeah, I think he should stay. So this next part is like the climax of the movie. It's pretty insane. And this scene is actually so wild that the first time I watched it, my friend actually pulled out her phone and took a live reaction of us watching this scene. So I will let you enjoy that now.
Yeah. Ew. What? I'm so speechless right now. I'm like bazookas and shit. How do we move on from this? Whoa! Oh no, Snick! Whoa! Whoa! Oh my god!
Some of these costumes are genuinely terrifying. I actually unironically love the design of this movie. I think it was really well made. Just like the plot and writing and acting are kind of lacking, as you can see. So they find a bunch of lights, blast the shit out of Snick and Boy, and they get Eric out of there. Oh, and for some reason the bully is here too. I don't know when that happened or why, but he is here. But oh no, the sun has already risen, and the only way out is to run to California. Cause the time difference. You see, it's genius if you think about it. And they escape under some homeless guy's beach bed. Tragic goodbye scene between Maurice and Brian.
You know what? He was the best friend I've ever had. I wish I could stay.
Bro, then why did you go through all of that? If you wanted to stay, you could have stayed. Like, no one was forcing you to not become a monster. Bro!
Remember, where there's a bed, there's a way.
Yeah, maybe not the best advice to give a little boy.
Well, we know where we're going.
And then Howie Mandel ends the movie by being really awkward, and that is it. That is Little Monsters, but I don't know how I discovered this, but midway through the credit scene, the music stops and it's just crunching. I'll let you hear this. Anyway, that's Little Monsters. I am so glad that I finally got around to making a video about this. It holds a very special place in my heart. Please let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more bad film reviews. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.